Hi, Gemini. This is your Gemini and Cancer season reading. Thank you for being patient. If you have subscribed already, then you're awesome. And then if you haven't subscribed already, then what are you waiting for? Anyway, so here we are with your Cancer season reading. And one of the thoughts that came to me was about belief systems and how belief systems work. And I feel like during your particular season, which has just passed, happy birthday, by the way, to all my Geminis, you guys have really been assessing the belief systems of which you have held that have perhaps contributed to some certain cycles that have been going on in your life that need to be fixed or rectified. Reasons why perhaps love doesn't work the way that you want it to work. Perhaps the way that that you keep having to switch jobs and you don't know why. And or money, for example, why money is why money is here and not here. And so you've been really kind of assessing your belief systems. The reason why a belief system is called a belief system is because you govern your life, and your life sort of falls into accordance with the belief you have. So if you believe if you're that you're not worth certain things, then I'm sorry, I'm just trying to shift it around a little bit. If you believe that you're not worth certain things, then those things may come to you, but they won't stay. If you believe that you are, but if you do believe that you are, worth certain things, obviously they will come and they will stay. But you'll also have the endurance to to really work through the times of which you're tested in those, in those things that you desire. So this is about belief systems, basically. And while we're in Cancer season, you've addressed the ideas of, what is it that I believe and how am I contributing to, certain cycles in my life. And now Cancer season is going to come in and be like, okay, well, how do we now we are going to, using water, we're going to have the inspiration to be able to actually change those things. I mean, not just the Cancerian water. Leo season's coming up. Maybe this even has to do with a dietary change or a fitness regime. And so maybe you're going to be like, oh, okay, well, now I have assessed why, this is the way that it is. And now I'm going to create a system of which I can actually implement it. So anyway, I've already pulled your cards and pre-shuffled, etc. And so we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. So let me just tilt this down, move my phone, tilt this down so you can see it. All right, here we go. So make sure, can you see? Mostly, you can mostly see. Let me just move these a little bit, maybe move this computer a little closer. Hold on, I'm gonna just adjust and okay, so it's like super bright in my apartment right now, and it is absolutely gorgeous today. But I don't know how well that's going to do for you guys actually seeing the cards here. So I'm going to also put the cards towards the camera so you can actually see what's going on here. Okay, um, so we talked about belief systems, right? To begin with, we got the unified field card. So that's kind of everything that I hate using, I not hate using this term, but I use this term quite a bit now that I deal in wine. But there's a phrase called the terroir. Terroir. I can't say the word really well because I don't speak French very well. But basically, it is when you're talking about winemaking, it is the soil and the makers and the process, and it's basically everything that involves the particular wine, right, or the domain. So it's a terroir of the wine. And so when we're talking about a belief system, this is basically the things that govern your life, the things that make, it's from the job that you have or the job that you have decided to take to the to your style and your friends that you have and things like that. These are all part of your belief system. They all encompass your system, and so we have the emperor, and sometimes we can get lost in the idea that we actually control that. That's actually all of us. And so sometimes perhaps we've given our power away to petty circumstance, sometimes legitimate issues, but we haven't really, but prior perhaps to your season, you were kind of leaving things up to, the will of everything else but yourself. And you are to really kind of seek out the will of yourself on this one. But like I said, we gained some clarity. The lost card is here, but it's upside down. So we did gain some clarity through Gemini season. We realized that areas which we need to improve and to grow and to do better. Um, Still, everything is not necessarily perfect, and why would it be? I mean, because it takes time to build a new life. It takes time to build anything. It takes time to change habits. It takes time to incorporate new habits within our life. And perhaps we've gone to a little bit of the extreme. So perhaps for some people, I'm going to stop drinking so much. And so I went from drinking all the time to drinking not at all, versus kind of being able to maybe curtail. I'm not advocating drinking. What I'm saying is, instead of being able to just like have a glass of wine or have a glass of champagne, once in a while, and that's enough. But just kind of swinging all the way to the other side of the pendulum, or we've had, exercise routines, but instead of just kind of like, I'm going to start slow, I'm going to go maybe 3 times a week, we're going every day, maybe twice a day, or our diets, our things are not sustainable. And so that's the problem with excess. The problem with the excess card is that you want to make sure that the changes that you're making, hopefully you can see that it says excess. Okay. Hopefully the changes that you are making are going to be things that you can sustain, that are permanent, because now that you recognize that these cycles are somewhat part of your own design, now you can redesign it. But the issue is that if you get into a state of extreme one way or the other, those aren't things that can sustain you, and you end up right back to the cycle that you were at. So we have the love card in reverse. All forms of self-deprecation, self-hate, um, uh, eating disorders, and things like that deal in a skewed view of love. It's a skewed view. And so really kind of look at that. Really look at, like, how much love are you actually giving to yourself? How much love are you actually giving to other people and circumstances? And love isn't just something you give to people. It's a state. It's love is also a belief system. Love is also a belief system. I think it was in a video that I did maybe a few months, not a few months ago. Obviously, I haven't been on for a while, but there's a video that I did at some point where I was asking the question, well, what would love do? Love itself is a belief system. And so if you're moving in love, you're going to find yourself dealing with a lot more peace in your life. If you're moving through sort of self-hate and fear and things like that, you're going to find situations that are going to be more fearful or fear-based. So that's something that you need to sort of look at. And towards the end of Cancer season, we find peace finally. We got things kind of worked out for the most part. We are kind of not inviting the vampires back in. We are sort of finding a little bit more of a balance. There's this phrase about fame that says it takes 10 years to make it overnight. And so this is kind of one of those things where you're kind of now on the precipice of something that's going to be really, really great, that's going to take a little bit more time, but you're going to have to start to work out these little self-imposed limitations, these self-imposed sort of belief systems that limit your success, that limit your ability to manifest the things that you desire within your life. And then we have the space card in reverse. So I guess this would say, if I would say anything, this would say, be careful with cramming too many things at once. So now now you're not smoking, now you're not drinking, now your diet's changed, now you're working out, now you're cutting out, old friends that you think are toxic. And be careful with doing all the things all at once. You need to be able to implement these things sort of one thing at a time. Too much change at once is not good. That's not even just like some like psychic phrase or something like that. That's literally like too many changes at once causes too much stress in the body and you can't handle it. So don't do it. Anyway, so I hope this reading was helpful. Let me just put this back up. Ugh. I hope this reading was helpful and I will talk to you guys soon. Okay, bye. Thank you for watching.